Hello everyone, how's it going out there? And welcome to my channel. We do educational videos on this channel, mostly related to great theories of everything, cosmologies, all-encompassing theories, grand unified theories, ways of looking at the whole picture so that we can kind of create maps and paradigms that we can rely upon in our traverse through this crazy world. And today is the 18th video that we've done on the book from Daniel Ingram called Mastering the Core Teachings of the Buddha. Ingram is an American who got turned on to meditation many years ago and has spent countless hours meditating, especially over in the Far East on meditation retreats, and has gotten the jewels of meditation procedure and maps of consciousness from the horse's mouth and from his own experience as a meditator, and has brought it back to us, which is kind of a rare thing. Usually people who really know a lot about Buddhism or other Eastern philosophies are the people who don't speak the language. So, and Mr. Ingram here bent over backwards to give us everything that we can possibly need to understand Buddhist meditation practice. And we are getting towards the end of this chapter, which is, let's see if I can get the name of this section, is called When, Where, and for How Long. And so this is just basic advice for meditation. You know, how long should you sit for, and where should you sit, and so on. Okay, we'll start up right here. This may be backing up a paragraph or so from yesterday, half a paragraph. Luckily, meditation is an extremely portable endeavor. You don't have to lug around special equipment, have other people around, or schedule an appointment. There are no fees, waiting lists, or red tape. Reality happens. Sensations arise. If you're paying careful attention to them, really feeling exactly what it is like to be here now, you're doing it. It's just that simple. Nearly all activities benefit from increased attention. So this paradigm of increasing daily life presence transmutes your seemingly non-meditative activities into meditation. While I have come to appreciate ideal meditation conditions and their obvious benefits, I have also had profound insights and extraordinary experiences in places that would hardly be considered ideal, such as in the break room at work or while brushing my teeth. While I appreciate the additional depth of long periods of uninterrupted practice, I am certain that being able to make use of little bits of time here and there has done much to move things along. I have sometimes meditated when reclining before sleep, when reclining in the morning before I get up, when I wake up in the middle of the night, before catnaps on the couch, during lectures and meetings, noting boredom, and in the lounge of the school I attended before afternoon classes. Walking down the hall between patients is a great time to meditate. center, reconnect with loving kindness and steady attention. I've concluded that 5 minutes of really engaged, clear, and focused practice in poor circumstances can often produce more benefits for me than an hour of poor, vague, and distracted practice in optimal conditions. I've also come to appreciate the value of timed sits, where I resolve to sit and pay attention for a set period. I used to rely on a little alarm clock, but now use my smartphone's timer. I determine to sit for a set amount of time, usually between 30 and 90 minutes. I have found that during untimed sits, I tend to get up when I run into difficult territory, mild pain from sitting, or other things that I don't want to acknowledge and investigate clearly. A timed sit makes it much more likely that I will be able to sit in the face of trying circumstances, thus developing more patience, confidence, and discipline, as well as the insights that come from persistent investigation. Still, most of the old masters who pioneered and preserved these practices had no clocks, and they learned how to be disciplined without them. So if you don't have a clock, you can obviously still practice well. Okay, that's the end of that chapter. So we're going to move on to chapter 11, which is called On Teachers. There are many types of teachers out there from many traditions. Some are very ordinary, and some seem to radiate positive qualities from every pore. Some are kind, some are dispassionate. Some may seem like sergeants in boot camp. Some stress reliance on our own efforts. Others stress reliance on the grace of the guru. Some are available, accessible, and approachable. And some may live far away, grant few interviews, or have so many students vying for their time that you may rarely get a chance to talk with them. Some seem to embody the highest ideals of the perfected spiritual life in their every waking moment, while others may appear to have many quirks, faults, and failings. Some live by strict moral codes, while others may push the boundaries of social conventions and mores. Some may be very old, and some may be very young. Some may require strict commitments and obedience. Others may hardly seem to care at all what we do, and some may seem to actively put barriers to interaction with them in our way. Some may advocate specific practices, stating that their way is the only way or the best way, while others may draw from many traditions or be open to your doing so. Some may point out our successes, while others may highlight our failures. Some may stress traditional renunciation or even ordination into a monastic order, while others seem relentlessly engaged with the world. Some charge a bundle for teachings, while others offer them at no charge. Some deeply respect scholarship and the lingo of meditation, while others may openly disapprove of formal terms, conceptual frameworks, and therefore never refer to them. Some teachers may be more like friends or peers that just want to help us learn something they happen to be good at, while others may be more into hierarchy, traditional structures, and the role of being a teacher. Hierarchy is a huge topic when dealing with any organization, community, and teacher-student situation. Hierarchies vary widely in the degree to which they promote real spiritual development, growth, and good practice in those who enter them. Some hierarchies are very natural. When I was in calculus class in high school, the teacher knew calculus while I did not. I wanted to learn calculus, and she taught me calculus. Roles and expectations were straightforward. I followed along with her lectures, did the homework, and took the tests. She got paid from the community's taxes. Good learning occurred. If anything, she was the one who was exploited, given how little teachers are paid where I grew up. Still, it was healthy as teaching situations go. Similar situations occur in good, healthy, hierarchical meditation teaching situations, and those can be found. To pretend that we must dispense with hierarchies altogether is therefore naive and simplistic. If we did, then we could never learn anything from another who undeniably had more training and experience than we do. It's a ridiculous idea if you parse it out with some clear thinking. However, as we all know, there are hierarchical situations that range from suboptimal to extremely toxic. In these, the exchange is not always straightforward. Learning to the level of the teacher is not actually encouraged, and teacher roles are ambiguous or involve domination and exploitation rather than true support. Often, the problem in these situations is that there is some mix of authentically healthy with unhealthy, unconscious elements. We find ourselves making compromises to get to the good parts while giving away things we value, such as healthy boundaries, reasonable autonomy, self-respect, and our own empowerment to be competent practitioners capable of standing on our own 2 feet. While pragmatic Dharma as a movement has generally favored less hierarchical situations out of a reasonable fear of the many possible unhealthy situations more formal hierarchies can produce, we need not throw the baby out with the bathwater, and we need not, indeed cannot, dispense with or avoid hierarchies altogether. Most of the skills I learned in my life, I learned from experts who taught me what they knew in good hierarchical situations, and the same is true of meditation. I studied with established meditation masters in standard teacher-student situations, typically traditional monasteries and retreat centers where the teacher was the teacher and I was the student. They taught according to their tradition. I practiced according to their skillful instructions. This approach worked out well. I personally have been lucky in this regard, but some of my friends have not been so lucky, as they have found themselves in suboptimal hierarchies and exploitative situations. The take-home is that you can also find well-established, time-tested teachers who are in clear and healthy teacher roles, and you can enter healthy student roles with them and learn well this way. If you somehow find yourself in an unhealthy meditation or spirituality hierarchy, respectfully remove yourself from it and find a healthy one, as there are plenty out there. Some teachers will speak openly about attainments, and some may not. Some teachers are remarkably predictable in their manner and teaching style, while others swing wide in strange and unpredictable ways. Some may seem very tranquil and mild-mannered, while others may seem outrageous or rambunctious. Some are great communicators, and others have real difficulty putting together coherent sentences. Some speak very calmly and slowly, while others spit out the Dharma at a zillion words a minute, guilty as charged. Some may speak our language, and others obviously don't. Some may seem to listen patiently, others may cut us off. Some may seem extremely humble and unimposing, while others may seem particularly arrogant and presumptuous. Guilty as charged, though working on it. Some may seem to have serious personality disorders, and others may seem highly self-actualized in the psychological sense, sane and mature. Some are charismatic, while others may be distinctly lacking in social skills and charm. Some may readily give us extensive advice, and some just listen and nod. Some may really look the part with robes, hats, and whatever hairstyle you associate with a guru, while others look more like something that just crawled out of a dive bar, prison, mental institution, dark alley, or corporate boardroom. Some seem the living embodiment of gentleness and love, and others may piss us off on a regular basis. Some teachers may instantly click with us, while others just leave us cold. Some teachers may be willing to teach us, and some may not. As far as I can tell, none of these apparent features of various teachers are related in any way to their meditation ability or to the depths of their understanding or attainment. While it is basically guaranteed that you will judge meditation teachers by their covers, recognize this and try to do better. It's possible that all these aspects appear to us to help us identify with ourselves, the habitual projections and expectations within which we operate. It's well worth getting to know ourselves in relation to whatever it is a given teacher might kick up in us. However, if they are kicking up too much stuff, maybe that is just a poor fit and you need to find another one. While sometimes our hearts open through challenge and conflict, sometimes ease, safety, sanity, predictability, straightforwardness, and gentleness do just as well or better. There is much richness to be gained by challenging this tendency in ourselves to judge another's spirituality based on appearances. What is important is that a teacher's style and personality inspire us to practice well, to live the life we want to live, to find what it is we wish to find, to understand what we wish to understand. Some of us may wander for a long time before we find a good fit. Some of us will turn to books for guidance, reading and practicing without the distinct advantages or profound challenges of teachers. Some of us may seem to click with a practice or teacher, try to follow it for years and get nowhere. Others seem to fly regardless. One of the most interesting things about reality is that we get to test it out. One way or another, we will get to see what works for us and what doesn't. What happens when we do certain practices or follow the advice of certain teachers, as well as what happens when we don't. Remember well, we don't have to become a replica of a teacher to apply to ourselves what they teach or to learn about how to investigate reality and become great meditators and great people. We can take what is good, leave what is bad, and take responsibility for our own actions and way of being in the world. The best meditation teachers give away their power, knowledge, and position to us as best they can. They try to transmit the Dharma as powerfully as they can so that we learn what they know. They even encourage us to exceed them in knowledge. The flip side of this is that bad teachers try to retain their power and teach in a way that produces no peers or rivals to their authority and position. Even worse are the teachers that engage in spiritual bullying and who may even encourage those around them to do likewise. Oddly enough, some teachers who may be entirely qualified can paradoxically impede our progress and promote our disempowerment and dependency. Avoid those like the plague. The best teachers inspire us to be our very best, even if our best is greater than the best the teacher was capable of. Another thing about teachers is that they only know what they know. If we use the scopes of the 3 trainings to examine this, we may find that some teachers may have a good grasp of some of these scopes and not have a good grasp of the others. In fact, mastery in each area guarantees nothing about mastery in the others. It is worth being realistic about this fact, and so I will go on and on about it later. I know some great insight teachers whose concentration skills suck. I know teachers who have awesome concentration skills but are still somewhat lacking in deep insight. I know some paragons of morality that are not that well developed in meditation. I know some extremely strong meditators who are not that well developed in morality. In other words, it is easy to imagine that just because someone may have meditation skills in one specific area, that they might magically know and be good at all sorts of other things. I have great skepticism about these sorts of assumptions and plenty of real-world evidence upon which to doubt them. Okay, I think we're going to stop right there. We will continue tomorrow when we resume. So thank you for tuning in today, and have a great day.